Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope that you guys can see and hear me okay. I will be checking the chat box periodically just to see any comments that you guys are making, if anybody is here. Give people just a few minutes to log on and to get going here. So I am going to give people just a second to get logged on, and let me see. I think people are trying to get on, but so welcome to Dr. Gwen's Counselors Cafe Wednesday. I wanted to take this time to just talk to you guys a little bit. I have had several family members, colleagues, friends over the last couple of weeks because we all are, transitioning into, working from home, teaching the kids at home. It's a lot on everybody right now. Everybody's stressed I've heard people say they're exhausted. They're just tired. They're overwhelmed with so much going on right now. So I wanted to take this opportunity to just talk to you about some of the things that you can do self-care wise during the midst of this COVID. Excuse me. So I will be checking the chat box periodically. So if you have different comments, questions, concerns, things that come up, please go ahead and just put those things in the chat box, and I will periodically check the chat box and respond to those things. All right, so I want to start out by saying I'm in my little purple today, and it's because it is the month of the military child, and I do work with military dependents. So for all of the military dependents and their parents, and for those of us that work with them, I just wanted to acknowledge month of the military child. So today, what I wanted to share with you is a few months ago, I did a self-care Saturday. And I got some really great feedback from the people that actually attended Self-Care Saturday. And just over the last couple of weeks, I've had, people talk to me in the midst of all of this about how they are using some of the tools that they actually picked up at Self-Care Saturday. So I wanted to take the opportunity to share some of those with you today. So, all right, I hope everybody, I'm just going to check the comments here real quick and make sure. Hello, Tina. Hello, Beth. Hello, Kimberly. Glad that you guys were able to join me today. If I cannot see your name, you may not have gone to Yardstream and added. And that's perfectly okay. But if you are making comments, I will be able to see your comments and see who's writing those comments from your name. All right. So I'm going to jump right in and go ahead and get started. And if I get to something that really resonates with you, put a comment in there. I hope that you will find tools that you can use. So what I wanted to share with you today is I have some little self-care kits. Well, this one actually is a survival kit, and this one actually is a self-care kit. And I will be going over some things that are in both of those that are tools that you can use while you're at home in the midst of this avid and beyond. I had several people to ask them if they had teenagers, and I mainly focused on the girls, but boys can, benefit from this as well, because guys, even though they may express their stress or it comes out in different ways, we're all stressed. So this is hopefully going to be helpful for everyone. So I'm going to jump right in. All right. So the self-care kit, one of the things, or what you get with the self-care kit, and I am actually going to talk to you about how I am going to give some of these away and how you can earn them at the end of the broadcast. All right. So each self-care kit comes with a little card that tells you everything that's in the self-care kit and what those things stand for. All right, so the first thing that's in the self-care kit that hopefully can help you while you're at home is just a little apple. And the apple just reminds you to eat healthy snacks while you're at home. It's super easy, I know, When you are binge watching all those things that you have not had time to watch while you've been at work, but now that you're home, you're watching all of those shows. And so it's easy to sit there with a bag of popcorn or a bag of chips or some candy. I'm not speaking, I'm speaking from experience. I know we all are work in progress. So this just reminds you to eat healthy snacks, because in the midst of this, we want to stay healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, all of those things. So the apple reminds you to just eat healthy snacks. There is a bookmark in each one. And the bookmark, actually, this particular bookmark, and I like what this one says, each one comes with a different bookmark with the little tassel that I just pulled off when I pulled it out of the bag. But this actual bookmark, it says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving. And some of you may already know that this is a quote from Dr. King. And this is very important during this COVID time for you just to keep moving. There's so many mental health things or other things that can bog us down through this time. Depression, is definitely can be on the rise if you have a history of that. Substance abuse, people are, prone to relapse during this time, just exhaustion, fatigue, all of those things. So I hope this is going to help someone just to stay healthy. All right, and on the back of this it has, if it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you don't stop. And that's from Confucius. And that's important as well, because sometimes we look at our neighbors or our siblings or our colleagues and we think that we ought to be where they are, and we shouldn't. We should be where we are. That's healthy for us, because all of our experiences are different. All of us are dealing with different things in regards to our kids and our job and our work. So, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just do what's healthy for you, is what's important. All right, I have in here, where are my little bubbles? I have some bubbles, and just a little thing of bubbles. All of these are just symbolic things to help you, remind you of healthy things to do. So bubbles, the reason I put this in here is just remind you to stop, guys, at times and just take a deep breath. Just breathe. That's it. Just breathe. In the midst of the day, when you're feeling really overwhelmed, just take 5 minutes for yourself. Go to your calm down area and just breathe. I usually teach the students how to do 5-5-5. And for me, that's not Gwen's 5-5-5. 5-5-5 is out there. And there's several different ways you can do it. But I usually teach the students or kids, or even for myself, to breathe in on a count of 5, hold it for a count of 5, and then release it for a count of 5. And actually the bubbles remind you, because when you are trying to blow a bubble, it's just, if you just blow it real fast, it just pops. But if you take the time to control it and blow it really slowly, then of course you get a big bubble. And so this is what I want people to do. The bubbles just remind you to breathe. All right, then we have in here an eraser. And this eraser reminds you just to forgive yourself for mistakes that you made 5 minutes ago, mistakes that you made a week ago. 2 little words. I'm sorry if you did something to someone, or just, I find that people have a much easier time forgiving other people than they actually have for forgiving themselves. So forgive yourself and others. If you snap at your spouse or snap at the kids, or just co-worker, anybody, just take the time really quick to say, I'm sorry, and move forward. Don't get bogged down there, because you can get bogged down. All right, so I'm going to stop for just a second and check the chat box. Hello, Jessica, Mr. Kaysen, Anthony. Glad you guys could stop in. Hello, Miss Lockhart. Hello, Cuz. Glad that you are here. I hope that you guys are finding things that are that you can use. So if you see something, tell me something that you find that you can actually use. All right, so I'm going to go back here to, all right, the next thing that's in our little self-care kit here is an hourglass. So this hourglass is really symbolic for just setting time. Um, Especially at work. I know a lot of us at working at home, but you need to set boundaries at home as well. It's really easy to spend, and I am definitely speaking from experience here. That first week of being at home, my neck still hurts right now from sitting at the computer all day. Those first couple of weeks, just feeling like all these things I needed to do and learn to be able to, work with my students and colleagues. So just, setting boundaries, just if like you're at work, go into work a particular time, stop for lunch, take those 10-minute breaks just to get up and walk around and move for a minute. And it's important for the kids as well. Give them some little brain breaks. I mean, they are not in school where they have to sit there for hours on end at the computer. That's not good for anyone. They should have those little short breaks where they're just getting up and moving and taking time to do stuff as well. I know a lot of parents have been thrust into being substitute teachers, and that's overwhelming because we went to school for 4 years to do that, and you've had to do it in a matter of a couple of days. So I know that it is extremely overwhelming, but set boundaries for yourself that you're going to begin and end work at a specific time. You are not going to spend all day on the computer. That is just not healthy for anyone. All right, so then we have a stylus, and this says Dr. Gwen's Counselor Cafe on it. Has my little logo, and it's actually a pen as well. So I put this in here just for a reminder for you to be reflective, to write in a journal. It could be a gratitude journal or just a journal, which is very therapeutic, because a lot of times, we hold things in, and it's good if you have people, you have a tribe, a circle that you can actually talk to, but sometimes you're just not ready to talk about it. So you can write about it. As long as you're getting it out, you don't actually have to tell someone. But tell it to your diary or to your journal. And another important thing is just, some people say journaling doesn't really work for me, and it doesn't work for everybody. But maybe you can just write a gratitude statement. Every night, just say, I am going to write a gratitude statement, because sometimes we say, I had a horrible day. Well, it's not often that somebody has a horrible day. You may have had some really bad spots within your day, or I tell kids, when they say I'm having a horrible day, you had a horrible something that happened within that day. And it may overshadow your whole day to make you feel as if you had a horrible day, but there's always a bright spot in that day. And if it's something that you can just find positive within every day, that's a great thing to do, because it just keeps us grounded and realize that, not everything is negative. And oftentimes some of the things that are out of our control. So it's good to just focus on the things that are within your control. So that's a great self-care thing, because we often are bogged down or stressed about the thing. And that's the thing with this COVID. I mean, it elicits fear and uncertainty and doubt in a lot of people, because it's not within our control. But there are things that we can do that are within our control to keep ourselves healthy and safe in the midst of all of this. All right. The next thing that I have in here is a recipe card. And all of you, well, I won't say all of you, but a lot of you may know that I love to cook. I come from two families on both sides, mama and dad, families of great cooks. And so I have put a recipe card in here just to remind you to cook and eat healthy foods. So each little self-care kit comes with a recipe card. And most of the ones that I've made up actually have, this one has a chili recipe in it, because when I did the self-care day, it was actually in February, so it was cold. But I put on here Dr. Gwen's award-winning vegetarian chili. All right, so did I win a major award? No. But I did win several chili cook-offs at school, and it, was a proud moment because, we had beef and pork and chicken and all different kinds of chili recipes. But my little vegetarian chili won a couple of years, so I'm very proud of that. But also, like I said, coming from a family of great cooks, so you will get a Jones family, what I call a Jones family recipe with a little vegetarian or pescatarian twist to it because I'm, what they define pescatarian. I only eat seafood, and of course, well, not of course, but my husband only eats he's vegetarian, so I have a lot of healthy recipes. But you're also going to maybe be one of the lucky people to get a not so healthy recipe, like if you didn't hear it, I said egg rolls. Yes, the infamous egg rolls. I'm going to put those recipes in here as well. So, yeah, you get a recipe card in each thing as well. And then I have a little resistance band. And this just reminds you to stay healthy physically, to exercise on a regular, 3 to 5 times a week. Stay into some kind of healthy routine and getting some exercise in. And when you're back at work or, you can do those in the office as well. So we have some seeds in here. So each little self-care kit comes with a pack of seeds, and I am just going to share my screen here for a second. Let me go to, all right, this little slide here. So I am sharing with you. Everybody knows, like I said, I talk about my garden often. It's my happy place where I can just be one with nature. I literally can stay out there all day. So some of you have seen, if you follow me on Facebook, where I've talked about some of the different things I've planted. I've expanded my garden just a little bit over this COVID thing. So it was a new project that I'm excited about. So I planted some, beans, and really this was like 2 weeks ago and they're already sprouting. I'm amazed. Cucumbers, some peppers, some snackable peppers, pimento peppers. Over here I have a whole lot of things, some squash and some zucchini and some romaine lettuce and some chard and some spinach, some onions, a whole bunch of herbs. Like I said, I love to cook, so I use a lot of herbs, oregano and parsley, and there's some banana peppers and thyme and lemon balm and, all kinds of things here. So all right, I'm going to go back to showing my face here. So getting you, and that's a great thing that you can do with kids right now as well, is just having some outside time. Outside time is important. I know I've talked to several colleagues over since we've been at home about, what are they doing to get outside? And it's like, well, I, go check the mail and I do that. No, 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 no. You need to get outside, and the kids need to get outside if you can. Now, I know some people's situations are different where they're on lockdown and they're really not going outside, but even just sitting out on the patio and getting some fresh air is really important, because just staying in the house is definitely not good in regards to fatigue and stress and depression and all those things. You really need to get out and do some things outside. So this is an opportunity to plant something. All right, then I have in each one a shape. And so the shape just reminds you that your experiences help shape your future. What are you doing during this time? Mindset really does matter. I know it's cliche, but it really does matter about keeping a positive outlook and in regards to, what's going to happen, even through the uncertainty of this COVID thing. So just keeping a healthy mindset. And, a lot of us have all these goals and aspirations and things that we want to do. A lot of people have goals of being entrepreneurs outside of their work. So this might be some time that you actually take to implement some of those things that you want to do in the future. Start, if nothing else, just researching some things. All right. And then we have in here a sleep mask. And this just is to remind you to get some sleep. Hopefully people are getting a lot of sleep now that they're home. But if they're like me, who, have some sleeping issues where, my goal is to get 7 to 8 hours, straight hours of sleep. Like I fall on the couch like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then I'm waking up like 11 o'clock, taking a shower, and then I want to write in my gratitude journal, and then I want to read my book, and it's 1 o'clock before I go to bed, and then I'm up at 5. So my sleep pattern is all is jacked up. It can use some work. So I am going to work on that, on trying to get a little more sleep, because I do know that that's one of those physical self-care things that are very important. And I need to practice what I preach. All right. And then inside, we also have a smiley face. And these are just some cute little glittery smiley face to just remind you to do something that makes you happy, not your kids, not your spouse. And the same for them. Kids, do something that make yourself happy. What is something that makes you happy? Every day. So, and I forgot to say when I was talking about the bookmark that I read the quote and all, but it's good to just, read some of the time. I thought about this with kids because I know parents are, overwhelmed and thinking, how do I get all this stuff in? And, my thing, the counselor side of me says with the kids that what I hope comes out of, this whole COVID thing and families being at home is that people are a lot closer, that you're doing some of those family things. And some of that, I know parents are, one of the things that they're concerned about is just not having time, throughout the day where they just can breathe for a minute because, with work and trying to help the kids and all those other kinds of things. But if you have school age kids, one of those things that goes back to, I thought about just what we used to call DEAR, the drop everything and read kind of thing. Just, have a schedule. And I think that's some of the things, and talking to some of my parents, just being overwhelmed with not having a schedule where they were used to a schedule with school and coming home and dinner and homework and all those kinds of things. Now that you're home all day, it's a little bit harder to, set the whole schedule. But if you can, within your schedule throughout the day, drop some time, just everybody drop um, everything and just read. And so that kids can see that reading is important for you, and let them read whatever. It doesn't have to be, a school book, it could be a magazine or, the newspaper or, whatever. Just, find something that they can read. So, all right. So tell me what you guys are thinking about the self-care kit so far. I'm going to take a quick drink here, and then I'm going to check the chat box. Tell me what's going on. What are you thinking? What's something that you can use? All right, let's see. All right, any comments here about the self-care kit? What are you guys thinking? What is something in here? I want you guys to have a takeaway today. I want you to think of something that you maybe already do that you want to do more on a consistent basis, or something that you've been planning to do that you now have the time, you just haven't done it yet. What is something that you can actually do? Miss Tina says that she loves it. I'm glad that you love it, Miss Tina. I hope that Amber has something that she loves as well. You could use everything. All right, so, all right, because you're saying you love the leeway to just be the dear family time is cool, because I tend to be reading and background noise is too much. So we're all going to read at the same time. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And even if you guys are all reading at the same time, maybe if it's something that you're reading that you can maybe share, maybe take turns, like throughout the week. We're all going to read our own stuff, or maybe one night have the kids read to you, or you read to the kids, or, your husband read, share or talk about what you guys are reading. Yeah, just make it a family kind of thing. I don't know, because this person said, great kid, I need to get moving a little bit more. Excellent. I'm not sure because you haven't logged on StreamYard yet. Sabrina says, I love it, Dr. Martin. I can actually use all of it. Excellent. Miss Hewitt was there at Self Care Saturday, and she actually has the kits. She says, I've used my bubble the most. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Use those bubbles to do those deep breaths. Beth says she loves the idea of gratitude statement every day. Yes, Beth, I do that like every night before I go to bed. I say every night, but probably at least 5 out of 7 times a week doing that gratitude journal. It really, keeps me grounded and just allows me to think of the positives throughout the day. Um, Jill says, I like the bubbles, simple reminder to breathe. Yes, yes, Jill. Breathing is very important. Just take time throughout the day to just stop and take a breath. Take several deep breaths. That's really good. So, all right, great stuff. All right, so now we are going to transition to the survival kit, which is similar to the self-care kit, but just a different focus. It has a few of the same things in it, but some different things as well. And then I want you guys to tell me which one resonated with you just a little bit more. All right, so the survival kit, you actually get the same thing. You get a little card in there that tells you all of the things that are in the kit and what they actually stand for. So I'm going to go back to my banner here, and we are now talking about the survival kit. All right, so in the survival kit, a little bit different. We start with the bell, and ringing the bell. The survival kit is just call someone up, ring for help if you need it. You are not alone in this. Please don't feel like you're alone. If you're alone, you are choosing to be alone to a degree, because there's always someone that you can reach out to. Reach out to me. Yeah, let me know what can I do to help you. Reach out to your family, your friends, your girlfriends, your tribe. Don't just sit there and suffer in silence. Like I said, it's easy to get depressed and just fatigued and overwhelmed during this time, but rely on others. So the bell reminds you to ring for help. Then there is a colored pencil. And I just said, be inspired, be inspired, draw, paint, live the colorful life that you imagine, even in the midst of this COVID. Draw a picture of the colorful life you're going to have after COVID. What's the first thing that you're going to do? Just imagine yourself beyond being, in this space, because this is not going to last always. It's just not. So colored pencil. I also have an eraser in this one. And again, just to remind you that everyone makes mistakes, to use them again as learning and growth opportunities. Do not beat yourself up about the mistakes that you're making. We all make them. We're all human. That's all that means. All right. And then I have a glue stick. So the glue stick is just reminds you to just stick to your morals, professionally and, personal morals that you have. It's easy, I know, especially when you're not in the office and you don't have all those reminders, to just, stick to your ethical and professional and personal morals during this time. And then in this one, I also have a little heart. And this heart says, I love this saying. And I can't remember where I got it from, but I love it. It says that if you can't see eye to eye with someone, try seeing heart to heart. Is that not great? Oh, I love that. Try seeing heart to heart. Put yourself in that person's shoes. Empathize with them. Have a little bit more patience and understanding and empathy. Like I said, so, if you can't see eye to eye with someone, this is a great time to reconnect with family, that you maybe haven't seen eye to eye with, but now is a great time to see heart to heart. All right, so then I have a highlighter, and it's just to remind you, just like what I was saying before, to look at the positives in each day. Highlight the positives in each day. We all have things that go wrong throughout the day, but we don't have to let those things define us, and we don't have to only focus on those things. So the highlighter. I have some little Kleenex in here, and it just says seize the moment, whatever that moment is. If it's a moment of, self-doubt, then just let it be that. If you need to cry, cry. It's very therapeutic. It's cathartic. I have this saying, and something that I live by and I tell myself all the time. And, it's helped me a lot during some tough times is if, one day I can be pitiful, but the next day I have to be powerful. That's my saying for myself. So there are some days where, I'm overly emotional about different things and I just sit in it, just feel it. It takes a lot to do that. It's not easy to just sit in those feelings because oftentimes we don't want to feel kind of thing. And so we deflect those feelings. But when those feelings come to me, I just, I try to sit in it and just, be in the moment and allow myself that time to wallow. But the next day, Dr. Gwen is back. I'm powerful all over again. I can't just sit there and and wallow in my self-doubt or fear or anxiety or sadness. Definitely sadness at times with missing loved ones and those kinds of things. So we can't just sit there. So pitiful today and powerful again tomorrow. All right. Then we have we have a marble. All right. So the marble symbolizes that if you lose yours, if you lose it, call me and call somebody to help you find. If you have lost your marbles, find someone to help you find it. Ask somebody to help you. Like, I am lost. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. If you need help, ask somebody to help you with whatever it is. Ask for help. All right. Then we have a paper clip. And a paper clip just reminds you to stay organized because it's just it's efficient and it shortens the road to your goal. I mean, all of us at home now, this is a great time to declutter the office of all those papers, give the kids something to do, shred the papers, or declutter your closet. That's on my list of things to do. Declutter the cupboard. I just did that last week, and my husband, he just better not go in there and mess it up. I got everything all nice and lined up because I had all this time on my hands. So yeah, just getting organized. You have time now to do some of those, home kind of projects that you've been meaning to do, jump out and do those things. All right. And so then I have some Play-Doh in this one. And the Play-Doh just reminds you that we learn by doing. And that's important with this whole, self-care and survival kit, because we know a lot of this stuff. It's not new information for you. But we have the best of intentions and we just never get to the action part. We know it's a difference in knowing and doing. So take that step so that you're actually doing something. So that's what the Play-Doh reminds you, that we learn by doing. So do. Don't just sit there and say, I know. All right. So, and then we have a puzzle piece. And this puzzle piece just reminds you that without you, the team would not be complete. And that's your team at work. That's your team at home. So it's important for you to keep yourself healthy and safe. That's one of the best things. That's the best thing, not one of the best thing that you can do for yourself and your family at all times, but especially during this COVID, is to keep yourself healthy and safe. So and the team needs you. Without you, the team is not going to be complete. So keep yourself healthy and safe. All right, then we have a rubber band. Look at that purple. You would think I planned this with this purple and the hourglass, and I did it, but I like it. It's working. All right. All right, so this purple rubber band just reminds you to be flexible, to reevaluate, to adjust and modify if needed. That's modify at work, modify your personal life, your relationship. A lot of us are spending a lot of time with spouses, and I'm so lucky that I like mine. At least 95% of the time. So yeah, just readjust and modify. If whatever you're doing is not working, change it. Don't just sit there and just be frustrated with the fact that it's not working. Change something, modify, reevaluate every now and again. Talk to the kids about what's working or what's not working, or for your spouse, because you guys are going to be together for a little bit. So it'll help to keep those lines of communication open and just talk about what you can do. And then the last thing that's in the self-care kit is, again, this is a smiley face, but a little different one. And it just says to smile. It's a great mood enhancer and it's contagious. So if you are walking around the house, smile a little bit more. Just, smile. It makes everybody else smile and happy, because if you think about it, if you're walking around in a bad mood and everybody's on pins and needles and eggshells around you because you're just on the warpath, take time to just smile and do some fun things. So I'm going to take time to go back to the little chat box here and just see what people are saying. Tell me what you're thinking. Which one resonates with you more, or what's something within one of them that resonates with you? Are you liking the self-care kit or the survival kit? Similar, but also different. Focus a little bit different on each one. So talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Tell me what you're thinking. I'm going to take a little drink of water here. And then I am going to check in the chat box to see what people are saying. Jessica says it's really uplifting and motivating to get me up. Excellent. Miss Neal says, yes, it is. I'm not exactly sure what she's saying. Yes, it is too. Tina's saying, this is great. Brittany loves it. Ashley, you've been painting and working on crafts. You've been enjoying painting and working on crafts. I actually have been, working on a few crafts at home. So, and actually this is something that a colleague told me that was very beneficial to me those first couple of weeks when we were just talking, and I was, somewhat venting about how I was, being just overwhelmed with being at that computer and was more or less sick of it. I'm more of an interactive kind of in your face kind of person. And that's the counselor and I guess teacher in me too. So I'm just not the kind of girl that enjoys sitting behind the computer all day. So I was struggling those that first week or so. So one of the things that she shared with me is that every day she gives herself one project to work on. And I really like that. And it's been working for me. So I'll just think of one thing that I want to accomplish that day. So it may be, painting some of my signs outside in the garden. It could be, planting something or pulling weeds or, doing a couple of Facebook posts to motivate people in the morning. I mean, just whatever. I just give myself different things to do. Cleaning out the cupboard. I cleaned out the deep freezer. So, making a healthy dinner. So let's see. What else is in the chat box? Amber says she likes the smiley face. Good, Amber. Yay. I hope it's something that you can use. Miss Johnny says, hi, Dr. Gwen. As you know, we have planted the garden. Selecting the plants and vegetables has inspired the mind for more research and has shown my granddaughter a way to earn extra credit for her environmental science class. Yay, yay, yay. Excited about that. All right, good for you, Miss Lynch. All right, let's see. Brittany said the survival kit is so motivating, especially during times of these. Excellent, Brittany. Brittany, I hope that you will use it. Selena said both kits provide motivation for me, and I look forward to sharing. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for joining me, Selena. Great seeing you. Tina says, I love the survival kit, especially the heart. If you can't see eye to eye, see heart to heart. Yes, I love, love, love that. All right, so one of the things I am going to give away, I keep going back and forth. I'm a giver. I started out, well, I'm going to give like 2 kits away. Then I was like, I think I'm going to give like 3 kits away because I got my, my personal Facebook group where I invited people. Then I have my professional page where I invited people. And then I have, my little self-care group that's just for counselors where I invited people. And so I think I'm going to give away 4 is what I think I decided on. And you can decide which kit that you would like. So here is how you will be able to earn the kit. And before I say that, let me just say this, that just love, here's, a quote that I say all the time too, love the work in progress that is you. Like I said, we're all at different places. None of us have arrived or are there. This self-care thing is an ongoing journey. So, just love the work in progress that is you. Go back to that quote from the self-care kit with the bookmark. Just keep moving at your own pace as long as you don't get stuck. And that another quote is that survival is all about self preservation. And again, in the midst of this COVID, this is, super important, that survival. I think did a post yesterday, said something like, self-distancing is the new self-care. It is. And I know it's tough, for a lot of people. And, I'll share just a little personal stuff here, just be a little bit transparent. I know at the very first week of this, my mom had to have a little minor surgery, and it killed me. I'm at the door, like I want to go to the hospital. I've never, she's 3 minutes or 3 miles down the road. Why can I not go to the hospital to see her? I want to go check on mom. And, so that was one of those days that was like really, really tough for me. Because I wanted to be there, but then I had to think, Gwen, you got to keep yourself, healthy, because, what if something happens, to her, you want to be there when she does get out of the hospital. So that you can be a benefit to her. So, everybody's going through different things. I know people, some of my colleagues that have lost people during this time, or, just have other family, situations and stuff is different for everybody. So, guys, just, please, 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 take care of yourself. Take this thing seriously. I know, especially in the African American community, it's super important. You've been hearing it on the news, hopefully. So this isn't new information about just, staying, that social distancing thing is important. I know in our culture, because, even going down to my mom's house all the time, I want to, but, she's older, dad's older, they both have their health issues, and I'm on them all the time about just letting people stop by, even families, like, I know y'all care and want to check on each other, but stop visiting each other. It's not good, right now. Yeah, but all right, back to the giveaway. All right, so the giveaway, the way that you will earn one of either the self-care kit or the survival kit, is to like a post, is to actually on this actual stream that's on my Facebook page, to like it, and also post a comment with your thoughts, reflections, reactions about the broadcast, something you learned, something you found useful, something about the kit. And actually, I'm giving this away, and these will retail and will be on my site soon for sale for $14.95 each. So you will be getting this for free. 4 of you will get this. And so you have from now until Saturday. And guess what Saturday is? Saturday is my birthday. So I'm giving away a gift to you guys on my birthday, because I want you guys, I'm being facetious here, but really I want you guys to be safe and healthy, and I want you guys to have good reminders. One of the other things too is just real quick in the comments, just tell me what, who you think this would be useful for. Like I said, I originally when I originally thought about these, it was really just for counselors. And then I started talking to teachers, and they're like, well, what about us? I mean, we can use that stuff too. And then, some of my social worker friends, well, what about the social workers? And then it was like, well, that's just good for women in general. And then I thought, well, yeah, this is true. So this, is fluid, and it's great for kids as well. So, I've thought about what kinds of groups, this will be useful for. So let me check the chat box again really quick. Yay, thank you for the happy early birth. Self-distance is the new self-care. Ashley, it really is for me. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Miss April, glad you're joining us. Jessica, it's your birthday. We're going to party virtually. Yes, on your birthday. Yes, I am thinking about having some friends over for a virtual party, because we're practicing this social distances, but I do want to people to help share in my special day. So stop in and just have a glass of wine with me. So yeah, Ashley says, being in healthcare, I can really use this. We often forget about ourselves. Yes, Ashley, and I'm so glad that you said that, because healthcare workers, and there's several of them on here. I hope they're still with me. Beth and Kimberly were on here. Healthcare as well. So I have had friends too to say, well, what about the nurses? What about the school nurses? You excluding people. And really, I was working in my circle of influence, but I'm realizing that my circle of influence is actually bigger than what I think. So I am so glad that many of you have taken the time out, family, friends, coworkers, colleagues, to join me today. And I hope that you guys will take something away that you can use to take care of yourself during this COVID and beyond. If there's anything that I can do to help any of you, please let me know. I am here, and I mean that very sincerely. I mean that. Let's see. Selena has a comment here. She says, my counseling team sends out a monthly self-care calendar that staff seems to really enjoy. We counselors must remember to take care of ourselves. Yes, the caretakers have to take care of themselves. And Selena, that's a great point, because when I originally thought about making these, it really was to help the helpers. I felt the more that I helped the counselors and they are helping the teachers and the students, that that was a way to get to the masses, that I'm going to help the helpers not only help themselves but help and heal others. That's really my platform, is that I really want to use my gift that I've been given to help others. I want to use that platform to help and heal. That's really what I'm all about. Tina says mothers and kids. So, excellent. All right. So I'm so glad that so many of you joined me today. And I'm sure that there is something I am forgetting to say, as always, because I'm usually off the cuff. I come up with this stuff and then I think I'm going to, I don't work well from, just reading off of something. So I'm usually off the cuff. So I hope I said everything. One of the other things that I did, one of the last things I wanted to mention was, I'm thinking about doing something. I just thought about this yesterday when I was trying to, in my mind, come up with what I was going to talk about today specifically. But next week, I'm thinking about doing another live event for just kids, which is, um, uh, area of our passion for me is working with kids. So I wanted to think about doing one of these just for kids, not long. I didn't expect this to be as long today, but I'm glad that you guys have enjoyed it and are here. But tell me a time, you guys that are on here that work with kids or have kids of your own. What's a good time, maybe in the afternoon? I'm on spring break this week, but next week I'm going to be back at work. So it's not going to work in the middle of the day unless I pre-record it and release it. But I do want to do a sell, and not sharing the bags, because you actually can go back with the kids and talk about this. But I want to talk about specific things that kids can do to keep themselves healthy and safe during COVID while they're at home. So, all right, Johnny says, don't include me in the giveaway since I already have one. Thank you, Johnny. Just wanted to say I really enjoyed this live stream. You are more relaxed than you were in the live session and in the self-care Saturday session. That's because things go, how it started, with the whole projector thing and all not working, had me a little bit irritated. But thank you for that feedback. Maybe it was because you didn't have us interrupting you. No, you guys were great. You're meant for this. Thank you so much for the compliment. Tina says awesome, and Cuz says Prince will be there. Yes, I want the kids to be there, because maybe they won't listen to mommy and daddy, but they might listen to Dr. Gwen, tell them some things. So I am going to sign off. I think that's the last little bit in the chat box. I'm gonna just check again real quick, so I make sure. I hope I got everyone's comment and didn't. I'm gonna just go back and scroll right here and hope I didn't leave anybody out for anything that they said. I think I got everybody. Awesome. All right, so please feel free to share this Tina says 2 o'clock is good. All right. So, yeah. So next week I will try to get something together for the kids, maybe a 15-minute or so. I mean, I know I'm not going to hold their attention that long, but it might be, who knows? They may have a lot to say. And one of the other things I've thought about, which I haven't committed to, is maybe doing this whole COVID thing, because I love to do bibliotherapy with kids. And I have a few books here at the house. It's one of those things, if I knew I was going to be here this long, I would have got a lot more things out of the office. But I'm thinking about doing some story time with the kids, because I just love to read. So maybe, one night a week having story time where the kids can come in with Dr. Gwen and have a share book. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. I look forward to your feedback. Love all of you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'm here if you need me. Take care, guys. Thank you.